Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's baking blog. Today I'm going to make some gingerbread muffins, and it's not necessarily the time of year you would expect to have gingerbread, although I like it all year round and it's available in our stores all year round, particularly Jamaican gingerbread. But I just thought I would make these because I do like a muffin from time to time in the afternoon. And as with all muffins, these are very simple to make, and I start off by preheating my oven to 180 Celsius. That's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. And I've lined a 12-hole muffin tin with paper cases. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for these I have 350 grams, which is 2 1/4 cups of plain flour, and that 2 1/4 cups is based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup. I have 133 grams, 2/3 of a cup of soft light brown sugar. I have 60 milliliters, 1/4 of a cup of flavourless oil. I have 120 milliliters, 1/2 cup of black treacle. You could use molasses, that would be fine. I'm going to use 1 medium egg, which would be large in the USA. And then for the spices, I have 4 grams, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 4 grams, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 gram, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 3 grams, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I have 3 grams, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 gram, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then to sprinkle over the top, I have 25 grams, 2 tablespoons of demerara sugar. So basically it's just a question of mixing the wet ingredients together and the dry ingredients together, and then putting those together as well, and then that's our muffin mixture made. So into one bowl I will put all the wet ingredients, so my oil can go in. And then the black treacle, and my egg. And I should have said I also have in the fridge 320 milliliters, 1 1/3 cups of natural yogurt, though you could use buttermilk if you want to. So I'll put the yogurt in to the wet mixture as well. And then I'm going to whisk those to get them combined. And actually I will put my sugar in to the wet mixture rather than into the flour mixture. That's good enough. And so then I'll set that to one side, and I will put the cinnamon and the ginger and the cloves and the salt and the baking powder and baking soda into the flour, and I'll just give it a little stir around. And to make sure that it's fairly evenly mixed in, I will sift it onto my wet ingredients. And with that sifted, I'm simply going to fold that in until all the dry ingredients are amalgamated into the wet, but I'm not going to over mix it. You just want to fold it in until they're combined. And that's mixed in quite nicely, and I can still see some lumps in there, and that's perfectly fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop that into the muffin cases, and I'm going to use an ice cream scoop to do that. And with the mixture divided fairly evenly into the muffin cases, I'm just going to sprinkle Demerara sugar over the top of each one. And then with the sugar on the top, I'm going to put them into the oven, and I'm going to bake them for between 20 and 25 minutes until they've risen up quite nicely and they're springy to the touch, and then a skewer in the centre comes out clean. Then I'll take them out of the oven, remove them from the muffin tin onto a wire rack, and I'll allow them to cool down completely. Then I'll come back and show you the results. I baked the gingerbread muffins for 20 minutes, and I took them out of the oven and out of the muffin tin and put them on a wire rack. They've cooled down completely, and this is what they look like. They've baked up very nicely indeed. And so I'll have a taste of this one. A lovely, intensely rich flavour with those spices. It's very moist inside, and with just a little bit of crunch because of the Demerara sugar on the top. Very, very good indeed. These will store very well in an airtight container, and they will actually become stickier as they're stored that little bit longer. So I think these are perfect for me for my afternoon tea, and certainly as we come into autumn, this is something you could put on your list for baking. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, which will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.